Hey, good morning, everybody. Today we're starting out in the Gospel of St. Matthew, and this is one of the 4 books of the first part of the New Testament that talk about the life of Jesus. And we find out that Matthew is Jewish, and he was actually one of Jesus' 12 original disciples. And before he became a disciple, before Jesus got a hold of his life and asked him to follow him, he was a Jewish tax collector, but paid by the Romans, and that made him a hated person. And so he was very interested, Matthew, in when he wrote this, to show that Jesus was the one that the Jewish scriptures had been referring to all along. Jesus was the Messiah. He was the King. And so much of Matthew's writing is all about this is what life is like when you allow Jesus to be king, when you decide to live in Jesus' kingdom. And that brings us to our starting point today, chapter 5, which is the beginning of Jesus' incredible Sermon on the Mount. And when Jesus began teaching about 30 AD, there were a group of people who really controlled the worship life, the religious life of the Jews at that time. They were called the Pharisees, and they were the sort of the self-declared superstars. And they had raised the expectations of the average person to such a high level that the average person, the average Joe and Mary, felt like, wow, I can never live up to what they say God wants from me. So God must not really care. Jesus told a little bit about these people and said they would love to strut around, especially when they pray or gave offerings, so that all could be impressed. But Jesus starts out his Sermon on the Mount in chapter 5, verse 3 with these incredible words. He says, God blesses those who are poor and realize their need for him, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Did you hear what Jesus said? He starts it out and says, it's not a matter of the kingdom being closed to you. Jesus says, my kingdom is wide open to you. God does care. I think it's hard to imagine how powerful and how compelling these words were, especially in those early years. It makes you almost want to paraphrase it and say something like this. So Jesus, let me get this straight. You say we're going to be blessed when we acknowledge that we are completely and totally dependent upon you for everything, and that we can do nothing meaningful, nothing matters without you? And Jesus would say, yeah, you've got it. That's exactly what it means to follow me. Now, it means that we realize we don't have all the answers to life's biggest questions. We can't solve the world's problems on our own. And we realize that only one does. He does. And he does really care. And if our life's goal is to simply earn a lot and get our big piece of the pie and then accumulate and then just consume it all, Jesus is telling us that, wow, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out on what you were born to do and to be in this life. I want to just encourage you to read the rest of these verses today. I've covered so few of them, but because there are so many good things in it. But I pray that they'll fill you up so that you can go out and, as Jesus said, so you can be a light in the world and others will see him through you. Have a blessed day.
If these devotional videos are helpful to you, subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so you know when we post a new video. And of course, please share them with others.